Alright, so first I'm going to start off by saying the video did not go as planned. I used the fisheye lens on the GoPro. That turned out to be a huge disaster. So if you just want to see my final thoughts, skip to the very end of the video and you'll get those there. Again, I apologize. Well, today we got a special delivery. You guys can probably see it says Sherco. I was told that you cannot get these in the US anymore, and this is one of the last ones they could find, so hopefully it turns out good. It is a 2023, and hopefully everything's good inside. It just got delivered this morning, so let's tear into it. And there it is. So for those of you that don't know, it's a Sherco TY125 Long Ride. So it's just basically a trials bike, but it's got a tank and a seat. And we got this. I don't plan on riding too many trails with it, but I can practice around the house. It's not crazy loud like a two-stroke. And when my father comes up, he won't kill himself on a big old 250 or something like that. So, all right, let's get some tools. It looks like we just need to get the handlebar on it, and we'll go from there. Oh, looks like there is a box of parts in the box. Oh my gosh, guys, what the? Okay, let's try this one. I'm gonna tip the bike. Okay, those are tight. Let's see what I need to get for the rest of it, and we'll open up. Looks like there's a box. Hopefully it has everything else I need. That'd be great. What's in the effing box? What? Okay. Oh. I didn't even notice we didn't have brake or shift levers. So here's those. Is it those over here? Here's battery. That's nice. Time for the brake. I just gotta figure out. I think it has pressure. I might need to bleed those. Okay, that's next. Ba-boom. Alright, after a little bit of investigating, battery goes right there. There was one bolt up here in the top, so I will hopefully not have to charge the battery, but I'll get the battery in, and if I don't have to charge it, we're gonna start it. So let's do it. That's right at the top. Okay, so it's a screw in. I don't know exactly how much oil this holds. Alright, what's going on, guys? Sorry, it's kind of been a few days. It's been raining quite a bit. I did take the Sherco on like a quick little ride just down the driveway and stuff. Got it kind of broken in. I think it's got like 3 miles on it now. Anyway, it's pretty boring, so figured I would wait until now. We're gonna go on a ride tomorrow. Got some shock socks. Hopefully protect those shock seals from just going out. And then I got Cycra handlebar guards, so I don't bust my knuckles up on branches if we hit them. And so if I tip this thing over, hopefully I don't bend bars or break levers or anything like that. So I'm gonna install these real quick, and then tomorrow we're gonna go on a ride and actually test this thing out. Hopefully we can find some decent single track, but at least I'll mess around on a dirt road, so we'll see. Show you. So I just had to cut there, and then on the other side, obviously dirt can still get in there, but these aren't specifically made for this exact bike. It's made for a bunch of other models that don't. Okay, got them on. Car's still good. That's still good. See the end result. I think they'll do pretty good for protecting it. I had to just nip the ends off of these. That's okay, who needs those? And then, there we go. Alright guys, we are up in the mountains. I got this old girl to about 40. So, we're going to see how it does on the trails. See if we can keep up with an actual dirt bike. But I think it's safe to say it's broken in now. Alright guys, let's go. Second gear right now, and it's just chugging. Probably can't tell, but it's pretty steep. Third gear, maybe it was a little preemptive. So far, riding it, it's a mountain bike with a small engine and tank. I'm 80 pounds, 85 pounds with a few liters of water, liter of gas just in case, and the suspension for this type of riding probably a little soft. For trials, I don't know. I've never done trials. But I'm trying to get into it. And I think this is a perfect in-between bike. If you're trying to practice technical trial-like movement. And my dad can hop on this. And it's basically like his mountain bike he has at home. It weighs like 180 pounds. It's got a tiny little engine, but it's geared low enough that it really doesn't struggle. I could change the gearing and get a little more top end out of it because it only does 40. But I mean, this is second gear, it's bogged down, just chugging up it. It's a little tractor. I think the gearing's actually pretty perfect because, well, I could probably take everything in first instead of second if I geared it up a little, but then your first gear would not be as good in the really technical stuff. You get my RPMs up, and
then hold them while I go up this. First gear. Yeah, I don't know. First gear's slow, but this engine just doesn't have it if you're trying to go any faster. I don't think I've ever been on this trail backwards. One or two more? I think two more. The last section with the wet roots will be kind of interesting. Now, going uphill it did fine. Had more than enough traction. But now going downhill it might be a little more slick. What we're doing, 26? 27. I do like this has a speedo on it. Never had a dirt bike that has a speedo. I don't really know why you need it for this. I feel like it's kind of pointless. You're not going to be really riding this on the street. I mean, why does this not seem bad at all? Am I just not to it yet? Oh. Okay. Probably should stop cutting that. Yeah, it's not bad at all going down. I was a little worried, not gonna lie. So, if you go the other way, I think it's harder just all the way around. Going backwards. Maybe it's just because I'm going faster and I don't have someone in front of me. Stupid branch. This is where it gets rutted out.
Alright, so I've had the bike for about a week now, a little over a week now. I've gone on a 61-mile ride. So I'll give you kind of my first impressions just a review of unboxing it, first ride, first impressions, stuff like that. Unboxing the bike was really easy. It came pretty much, you just had to put the handlebars on, battery in, and then the shift lever and the brake lever on. None of those were hard to do by any means. There is some weird stuff with the bike. The choke seems pretty flimsy and just cheap. I feel like they could have made that a little easier. Same with the throttle and the throttle cable. It's just this weird plastic throttle cable, and I don't know. I feel like if you hit it once, it's gonna break. So I feel like they could have done a little bit better. All I've done to the bike is put shock savers on it so that my seals hopefully don't go out anytime soon. And then I put handguards on it. I've got my saw mounted to the handguards. Handguards do not fit the bike, but I made them fit, and I didn't have any issues riding with it. That way, hopefully, if I do drop it, I don't bend the bars. But riding it, it's not an on-road bike by any means, and it shows. I think I got it up to 42 was the fastest I was able to go with it. You could change the gearing, but then you're just going to have issues with doing what this bike's actually made for. I only rode it on the road just to get to the trails. We didn't find any crazy technical stuff, but the video that I did put up, that Fish Islands, you can't tell the terrain at all. It ended up just really screwing it up. I went over some rocky stuff, some wet roots, pretty steep hills. Pretty much only once I had to shift down into first gear, otherwise it was just bogging down. But for the most part, I was riding in second or third. So the gearing for what you should be doing with this bike is probably perfect. The clutch is great. I can easily one finger it. It's not stiff. It engages perfectly. Front brake, same thing, good. Back brake, good. The shifter, it's a trial style shifter, so still getting used to it, but everything operated good. Other than that, bike's running great. I think these tires are super gummy, so a lot of traction on them. But that's pretty much it at this point. I mean, it's running good. It says online you can get 50 to 60 miles per gallon, or not per gallon, per tank. And I got 61, and you could shake it and still hear a little. So I don't know exactly how far I could go, but I was not being easy on the throttle by any means, and I was bogging it down. And like I said, I was on the road. I was just basically pinned the whole time, just trying to do decent speeds on the road. So I don't know exactly how far I'll be able to get on a full tank, but I can at least get 61 miles. So anyways, if you want to see a more long-term review, I'll try to do one in a few months. I'm going to try and build a little track around the yard with some logs and some more technical stuff where this thing can shine, and we'll see how it goes. So tune back in a few months if you want a more in-depth review on this, see if anything broke, and see if I changed my mind about anything.